Hey everyone, welcome back to Lavendaire. It's Aileen. Today I want to share a few things that I've learned recently. And when I say things, I mean like skills or knowledge, not necessarily life lessons, because that could be a whole other video topic. So I had the idea to do this video because I was spending a few hours learning how to use Lightroom, this program to edit photos. And that night going to bed, I realized I've been learning a few new things recently and I don't realize it, but I have changed, I have grown. And only when you reflect and look back do you realize how much you've grown and how much you've learned now. Personally, I love to learn. I consider myself a student for life. I just feel like the world has so much out there that it's just exciting to be able to explore, experience, and learn new things. So I hope after this video, you're a little inspired to go out there and learn something new, or even just reflect on how you've grown throughout this year already. The first thing that I learned this year was how to fly a drone. If you watched my Hawaii vlog, then you probably saw the whole story of how we just got a new drone, took it to Hawaii, and learned how to use it there. And then I had a little drone accident where I still have a scar on my arm from that accident. You can see it all on the vlog, but basically what happened was it was my first time flying it by myself, and I was at the beach and I put the drone on the chair. I wanted to vlog myself doing it, so because I wanted it in frame, I put it a little too close. It got caught on the umbrella as it was going up, and it kind of went like crazy around, and I was just like panicking, trying to catch it and stop it. The main thing that I want to highlight about the experience is that even though I was scared my first time and I had that accident that was scary and painful, I immediately made myself fly the drone again, even as my fingers were bleeding and stuff, because I knew that if I gave myself too long, then the fear would grow even bigger. I think the longer you wait, the scarier things get. So if you have a fear, just do it, get over it ASAP. Just pick yourself back up and try again. And the only way you get better is to practice, even though it is scary, even though you suck in the beginning. That's just the process of learning. Staying in the tech category, another thing I recently learned how to do was balance a gimbal. A gimbal is the stabilizer thing that you use to get smooth shots on your camera, and it's just this new accessory that I bought. I'm still kind of learning how to use it, but I just had the hardest time trying to balance it. I thought it was broken, and I guess I didn't realize all these other knobs and things happening. This was the one thing that after watching 2 YouTube video tutorials, I still couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Usually I'm pretty good at that, but anyway, I guess I'm sharing it because number one, I'm proud that I figured it out, and number two, I want to highlight that I constantly am trying to learn new things in tech that will help me be a better creator, because I'm always trying to create better stuff and improve my craft, and part of that is learning how to use new tools, even though I'm not comfortable with it, even though I prefer to be minimal. Tech gear can be pretty heavy and clunky, and I ideally try not to use so much gear, but I think, if it helps make the videos better, I just gotta do it. The third thing that I learned recently, which I mentioned in the beginning, was how to use Lightroom to edit photos. So Lightroom is an Adobe program to edit your photos. People usually use it to edit photos for Instagram. It's I guess the most control you can get in an editing program. So I never had the program before, but I recently got a free trial, which is why I started learning it. And for me, it took maybe 2 to 3 hours playing around with it to figure out how it works and how to filter photos the way I how to create my own presets. And I was really excited about it because previously I used VSCO X and PicTapGo, sometimes Snapseed, for editing my Instagram photos. I have a video on that, by the way, which I'll link below, but I think Lightroom is just the next level. What I did do was I watched one YouTube video by the blogger Mariana Hewitt on how she edits her photos in Lightroom, just so I get a feel of what other bloggers are doing to get their certain look. And then I think from there, I actually looked at another Instagram person I follow. She the Spy, actually. She's amazing. She just has a gorgeous feed, and I love the soft, warm vibes in her feed. So what I did was I just opened up one of her photos, and I opened up my photo in Lightroom, and I tried to mimic the look of her photo. That was a really fun exercise for me, just learning how to use Lightroom through trying to emulate other photos that I really liked. The fourth thing that I learned recently was how to cook. So I was never really a great cook. I never had that much experience. My mom doesn't really cook, so she never really taught me that much. So when I moved into my first apartment with my boyfriend, basically this year we've been like learning how to cook together, and now I can be very confident in making noodles, making soup, and I've experimented with different recipes. Literally just in the past few months, I learned how to like saute vegetables, bake sweet potatoes, make kale chips, make kimbap, and a bunch of other Asian dishes. For me, cooking is like a way to express my creativity, so I love to not follow a recipe word for word. I really just like use it as a foundation, and then I kind of like do whatever I feel like, which is really fun for me. If you follow my Instagram stories, I share a lot of my cooking there. I even have like a cooking highlights on my page. Actually, when I think back, when I first moved into this apartment, I actually took a few online cooking classes on Skillshare just to get a good like foundation knowledge, because I knew that one of my goals this year was to cook more in my new apartment. So the first class I took was called Think Like a Chef, A Beginner's Guide to Cooking with Confidence, and the second class I took was called Cornerstones of Cooking, Secrets to Saute. I definitely recommend the first class, Think Like a Chef, because that gives like a great foundational knowledge for beginner cooks, like what ingredients to always have in your kitchen that are very versatile, or even like knife skills, how to build a salad, with the different textures and tastes that you need to have. So that was really helpful. By the way, thanks so much to Skillshare for partnering with me on this video. They're like the perfect partner for this video. So if you don't know already, Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of classes that you can take in design, photo, business, and more. It's a place where you can improve your skills or explore a new hobby or curiosity that you have. So a premium membership gives you unlimited access to high quality classes from experts in different areas, and an annual subscription to Skillshare is less than $10 a month. So if you're interested in trying out Skillshare, you can click the link down below in the description box. The first 500 people will get a free 2-month trial to Skillshare Premium, so act now. So I'll also link those cooking classes that I took down below as well. The fifth thing that I learned recently was how to read birth charts in astrology. So that was something completely new and random. I just felt like reading something very different from what I was normally reading. I was kind of bored from my reading list, so I just ventured out and explored something new. And I've known about birth charts before, but I just never really got into it. And this book that I read, The Inner Sky by Stephen Forrest, it got me into just learning the signs, the planets, the houses, what they all mean, how to put them together, into like describing a person's personality and their life destiny. Not everybody believes in this. It's not exactly science, but it's really fun. It's just studying the symbolic meaning of the map of where all the planets, the sun and the moon are when you're born. And I do believe it has some significance. So anyway, I learned about birth charts, and I do want to continue diving into this topic. I have like other astrology books that I've added to my Kindle. I just haven't started reading them yet, but I think after I read that book, I kind of deciphered my own birth chart, and I gained a lot of new insights. And I'm just like practicing deciphering like my boyfriend's and my mom's, just practicing with the people closest to me. Hopefully I'll get to a point where I can like do all my friends and stuff, but for now I'm just a basic at it. But it's really fun, and it's nice to just explore something new just for the fun of it. The next thing that I learned recently was about plants. So you guys hopefully have seen my recent plant video. Like, I've become a plant mom. I have 4 plants in my home right now. It's not too much, but I just really love them. I love taking care of plants, like tending to their unique needs, because each plant is different. It needs a different amount of sunlight, a different amount of water. To me, this is like the step before like having a baby, I guess. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to have a baby anytime soon, but my responsibility level is only capable of taking care of plants right now. That's what I'm learning. Like, I can barely figure out how to take care of all these different plants. That's like the max right now. Anyway, my curiosity for plants kind of stems from this first plant that I got, the fiddle leaf fig, because it's one of those plants that I saw on Pinterest so much that I'm like, oh my god, I want that for my apartment. So I originally got it as a decor, and after getting that, I just had so much joy watching my plant grow, watching it sprout new leaves. It's literally a miracle, and I sound very cheesy, but it shows you how magical nature is. Things just grow. It sounds so simple, but I think you can understand that at a deeper level. I guess it's helping me be more present and get in touch with my spirituality a little bit. But in the end, it's also just very fun for me. The next thing that I've been learning recently is practicing my Chinese, more specifically practicing how to read and write simplified Chinese, because I grew up going to Chinese school. My Chinese is not that great, but at least I know how to read like basic characters and stuff. So I learned traditional Chinese, but now China basically uses simplified Chinese. They only use traditional in Taiwan and other areas, but anyway, I went to China in April and I caught up with my dad who lives in Shanghai, and my whole life, it didn't click in my head that he doesn't read traditional Chinese, he reads simplified. So I used to text him in traditional, and then I realized like, oh my God, he never learned that. Like he probably has to struggle a little bit like reading my text to him. So I'm trying to learn simplified Chinese so that I could text my dad, and also because like China's a huge country and I want to be able to like connect with my roots and also like create content. Like I made a Weibo account. Weibo is a Chinese social media platform because I found that people in China were reposting Lavendaire videos and stuff, and I was like, why don't I just post my own stuff there? And I know enough basic Chinese to like, you know, try to get by. So I've been using Weibo as a way to like practice Chinese in general. Also, I mentioned this a few months ago, but I was watching Jasmine Lipska videos to practice my Chinese as well, because she puts subtitles in her videos, and I would like write the traditional Chinese sentence and then like write the simplified Chinese sentence under it, and it's kind of a slow way to learn, but for me like writing things out in a notebook is the best way to learn. So that's what I'm working on lately. It's literally like an ongoing life practice. So lastly, I want to leave you with this bonus lesson that I've had to relearn recently. It's that you are never too old and it is never too late to tap into your creativity in new ways, to let your inner creative child play. I feel like I got inspired by Will Smith, who I love his new YouTube channel. Will Smith is like an A-list celebrity. He's like just one of the most known people in the world. He's super successful, and yet like he started his YouTube channel just this year in 2018, and he was genuinely excited about it, and he has videos of him getting back into rap, producing music, and I was like, what the heck? It inspired me because he is like older, he has children who are, you know, like living their life. And even at his age, can he pick up new creative hobbies or, you know, go back to his roots of like making music? And he is not shy about it. He doesn't feel too old to start YouTube. He doesn't feel too old to do anything. He's really just like still a creative child. And that was really inspiring for me to see. Lately, I've been like wanting to make music again, and part of me like kind of neglected the musical side of me, because once I transitioned to doing Lavendaire full time, like I think there was a point where I was trying to do music and Lavendaire, and then eventually Lavendaire took off and I just didn't have time for music. I neglected it, and neglecting something that I'm so passionate about for that long, like the light kind of dimmed there, and I thought that, you know, maybe this is my new life. I'll focus on creating videos for my job. It's my career. And yet like that little creative light inside still was there and wanted to come out. So I think I'm just learning that, you know, it's never too late to tap into your old creative hobbies or even to start a new creative hobby. You basically have the rest of your life to explore and do whatever you want, and that's amazing. Personally, I think we waste a lot of time contemplating whether we should do something or not, thinking that we're too old, and you know, all that time that you're thinking that you're too old, you could use that time to just get to work, take action, start creating, because it really doesn't matter what age you are, and everybody here is getting older by the day. So if you don't start now, like, you know, when are you going to start? So I hope you like that lesson and the things that I shared today. I just want to encourage you guys to go out there, to learn, to explore new things, to be creative, because it never ends. You have the rest of your life to do it. Let me know if you like this video and if you want it to be a series, like a Things I've Learned series. So if so, I'll probably do it every few months or so. All right, have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.